welcome to another episode of CWT TV. Get to know your hosts, Peter and Helen Abel, as they are the New York State chapter coordinators of the Human Solution International, where we believe no one should go to jail for a plan. Peter and Helen are ministers, living the changes they wish to see in the world. Peter is a patient that learned the science behind the cannabis plant as he healed. Helen supported and cared for him by learning the medicinal values of foods, and now their allegiance is to the plant. Currently, they teach. They spread the knowledge that they've acquired. So all social media, radio, and now through TV. So sit back and
Good evening, everyone. CWT TV. Back again
Welcome.
with Larry Sharpe. We've had the pleasure, Helen and I before on our radio show to interview Larry. Larry's the Libertarian candidate for governor here in New York.
And the man with my vote.
And mine, and anybody that knows Helen and I knows we do not do politics. We don't stick our nose into people because they're normally so disappointing. But from our experience and energy feelers and people that listen to someone over and over to hear if they're going to slip up, we haven't found that with this candidate.
Well,
I
that's
will try to disappoint you, I promise. I promise I will.
He won't
Yes,
succeed.
I will try. Yes.
But we love Larry for that. And we also are big proponents of him because Larry was the first, not one of the candidates that suggests that we decriminalize cannabis, not only here in New York. I know he believes it should be everywhere, but his job will be here in New York.
Yes.
But decriminalization compared to legalization, folks, is
Huge.
day and night and
Huge
apples
difference.
and
Yeah.
oranges. We've also had the ability to speak to Larry, and those again, understand and know our 501c3 solidarity over separation, the New York chapter of the Human Solutions, where we believe no one should be in jail for a plant. And that's what we stand for. We don't believe that a plant that's never harmed, maimed, killed, or has the possibility to do so to a human being should cost someone their entire life in some cases.
That's right.
Without the possibility of parole.
But you don't go to jail if you have rat poison in your pocket.
That's very true. That's true. And the thing about it too is if you've got heroin in your pocket, you don't go to jail for life. So if you transport, if you supply, if you're a heroin dealer, you do not go to jail for life. And that's just something that we can't stand for. Another thing that I want to switch to and understand is that's why we do this. The media's perception of the cannabis plant a lot of times is still like it's new, like it's something that we haven't seen, and the terminologies that they use. We call things cannabis. We call it cannabis because it is cannabis. I mean, marijuana is a racist term to me. It was invented for
it's
racist
a stigmatic term. It was placed there for all the wrong reasons. Cannabis
It's a
is
racist term.
how about that?
plantist?
Yeah,
You're a plantist.
you're a plantist.
Oh my God.
In today's society, folks, let's be real. We're so
All right.
politically correct and sensitive that we have to be like that, unfortunately.
Well,
But with decriminalization, as we're saying, and the public's opinion and all this, what we have to understand is with legalization, none of us could ever truly prosper in the cannabis business.
But I want to be clear on one point.
Yeah.
I often don't make a distinction between the two because people don't understand the two.
Right.
So what I actually just say is I want to regulate cannabis like onions. It's a very simple phrase, like onions. Are onions illegal? No. Can you grow onions in your backyard? Yeah. So grow onions in your backyard. This is the issue. If we just make it like onions, that means we don't only support the average grower, we also support the farmer. But I want the small farmer to have some chance in this state, and they don't. And I always link in together both cannabis and hemp.
Right.
I link
Absolutely.
them right in together, right? We should be allowing farmers in this state,
Absolutely.
if they want to specialize in hemp, or specialize in cannabis that they can. It will give them a shot. Now, if we begin to overregulate, or the old I hear all the time, we got to tax it, right? It's this way we can fill the potholes, pot for potholes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because that's exactly what it'll go for, right?
Yes. So I don't know when we're going to start.
But even if we did, even if that were true, for the sake of argument, it doesn't matter. Once you overregulate, once you overtax, immediately big business wins and small business loses.
That's
I
right.
want the small business owner to win. I want the small farmer to win. That's what matters. We want to make it just like onions. Everyone understands that, right? But it's not just for the farmer. It's also for the average person. There are a lot of New Yorkers who have chronic pain. And right now they have three choices. Choice one, they can take an opioid. And we know that opioids are the #1 way that people become addicts, right?
Correct.
Prescription
Yes.
opioids.
Yes.
So they can
Yes.
And die.
So they can gamble on their life with an opioid. That's option one. Option two, what I hear all the time. I go to fairs, and for some reason, only women have told me this. I don't know why, but only women have told me this. They say, Larry, you know, I smoke a little bit of weed at night so I can go to bed because I have so much pain, but I'm afraid. They're afraid. So option two is be a criminal and live in fear. That's option two. Option three, suffer. That's option three. I hate those options.
Totally
How
unacceptable.
About instead, we allow people to have cannabis products to deal with their pain, and if they don't have a lot of money, no worries. Guess what?
That's right.
Grow it in your backyard.
That's right.
Grow it in your backyard.
That's the misconception with people, is that all of these oils and things that you're getting from the, what they're calling a dispensary here on the East Coast is just as easily, safely, and everything produced in your own home.
Yeah.
First of all, you're buying cannabis. You're not buying cannabis. You're growing cannabis. You know what's in your cannabis. You know that you're not putting poisons and pesticides and such. These things are important. These things are important to the real patient. But again, like you said, it's education and educating. That's what we do, and that's what we're continually trying to do. Is explain the difference between the two.
But we can make a simple connection on that. It's health food stores, right? If you look at health food stores now, the vast majority of, at least 90% or if not more, of the products in the health food store are not regulated by the FDA.
Right.
At least 90%. Now I want to ask the question of anyone watching, where are all the deaths from health food stores?
They're not.
None. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. However, the FDA has killed and maimed millions of people, millions, far more than every single
with
health
no
food
accountability,
store.
by the
Zero
way.
Accountability. Zero accountability.
Just saying.
More than every single health food store ever created by man throughout the history of time, times 10.
That is our Can We Talk stand up and applaud moment of the moment. Because
That's right.
Truly, that's just it's.
That's
it's
right.
Yes, absolutely.
Listen, we live in a world of people that are always concentrating on one thing or another. Yes, the opiate addiction is a reason for people to treat with cannabis. Yes, chronic pain is. But general health is in general.
Absolutely.
This is not just
preventative
This is
care.
not just a plant that people believe performs miracles. It doesn't perform miracles. It does what it's supposed to do.
It's not magic?
No, it's
Hey,
not.
to some it might feel like that.
But with the hemp industry, and like you're saying, is where people are missing the boat too. We have huge industries right here alone. Like, and I always call them out as Tetz Concrete. Tetz could be making hempcrete.
Absolutely.
Yes.
By fields grown by local farmers with ethanol that is produced from the hemp to power their machines, and they can do all of this, help the environment.
Help the environment, absolutely.
Hemp planted in soil, clean soil, and back to pure, rich, fertilized soil within 10 years.
Yeah.
We can turn oil-slicked fields into fertile soil again. We're missing the boat, people.
Oh,
Energy and building materials, clothing. We're really right. We're really missing the boat with.
Absolutely, so much. I completely agree. And the issue is we also will allow the farmer to specialize. And this is what I want, right? A small farmer is not going to be able to compete directly with the big boys.
Right.
They can't. They're getting killed already.
Right.
But when they specialize, yeah, they can. They can specialize and do it. But there's something else. If we actually just say hemp and cannabis is legal, you'll also find people starting to make new products.
Correct.
And what you find that right now, by the way, with coffee, you find that with beer, and you find that with vaping, right? There are new industries that people start making new products.
Yeah.
To your point, you don't have to smoke cannabis.
No.
And most people don't know that.
Well, it's the most ineffective way to medicate.
Yes.
It's the most ineffective way.
Yes.
Smoking a cannabis cigarette or a bowl of cannabis is the least effective way. You're burning off all of the medical value to begin with.
If
Secondly,
that's what you're doing, you're doing
CBDs
it for
in general.
recreational purposes.
Right. CBDs in general and specific CBDs can help and resolve 80% of the problems that people have with their health out there. You don't need THC, the one everybody's afraid of, that terrible cannabinoid that everybody's afraid of. But a person with cancer loves THC because without it, they don't kill their tumor doesn't shrink, their cancer doesn't go away. So believe me, everything has a Bible. My case, I mean, I have neuropathic Lyme. Without THC being a part of my treatment plan, I'd be a basket case.
Here's a funny story I say all the time. My father had cancer in the 70s. You know, in the 70s, it was, you know, basically they cut you open and that was it, and good luck.
Yep.
Chemotherapy was horrible. It was just nothing but bad. It took him over 2 years to die. And he was a cop and then a corrections officer. And he had friends in law enforcement. And the cops used to take him out into the squad car and let him smoke weed from the weed they confiscated from people. This is what it was in the 70s.
Wow.
Back in the 70s, they knew it.
They knew it back then, of course, yeah.
And they would let him do it, but they would still be busting people for marijuana. But they let him smoke it in the actual car.
With medical marijuana, though, or marijuana in general, however people want to look at it, there comes a lot right now with the way law sits, Larry. And if you're an opiate addict or a drunk, you can own a gun.
Yep.
You know, if you're a cannabis patient, for some reason you become
so backwards.
Dangerous. And we have a lady, Mary Leskis Mays, from just right here in Pennsylvania, right across the border, and she just wants to know what your stance on gun permits and medical card patient holders is.
Yeah, why in the world would I stop someone from defending themselves, losing their Second Amendment rights because they have an issue that's treated by marijuana? It doesn't make any sense. It's like saying, well, you decided you want to, you drink beer, therefore you're evil, you don't get to have your First Amendment right, or your Third Amendment right, or whatever.
Right.
You now lose your rights as an American because you decided to put a substance in your body.
Why should we be
sense.
documented to begin with?
It's irrelevant. Yes, I agree. No need. Look, but hold on. Did you hear what I said? I said regulate cannabis like onions.
Correct.
You don't require a card.
Let's make a new food chart, shall we?
You don't require a card to buy an onion, do you?
No.
No, which means you would not require a card to purchase cannabis.
That's always been an issue with Helen and I.
Yes.
Like with HIPAA laws, like, well, all right.
You're violating
you might
my
not know
HIPAA
what's
laws.
the matter with me, but yes, you know.
Well,
I
of course,
can
when
treat with cannabis,
yes,
so,
and
you
then
know.
when you're going into a doctor's office, a medical cannabis doctor's office that will only treat you on Wednesday.
Yes.
Because they can't
Because-
talk to you about cannabis on
How are you not
Tuesday.
violating my HIPAA laws?
Yes.
Now everybody that sees me walking into your clinic on Wednesday knows exactly how I'm treating.
Yep. Absolutely. So yes, there's no need for the card for an onion. There's no need for a card for cannabis. Done. That's why I'm very simple, like onions. It's very simple to understand. It's a very simple basic rule. Onions. And also something else. What's happening right now is His Majesty King Andrew, in case you don't know who your emperor or your king is King Andrew Cuomo. His Majesty has decided that he's now putting together a group of people who will start thinking about marijuana laws now.
Oh, please. Why?
Putting
'Cause
them
he
down
can't think of
together,
them
right?
himself.
That's his new rule. I've got my group together to come up with the rules. I have one. Look at onions, scratch out onions, write cannabis, done.
Well, I would be
That's
nice.
mine.
I love Cynthia Nixon when she finally did get on the bandwagon and couldn't pronounce the word.
What'd
That
she
was
say?
great. Cannabis?
Yeah,
Cannabis.
Yes.
Cannabis.
Potato,
what it is?
potato. But you know, yeah, she couldn't
Well, her
she
heart
couldn't
was in
pronounce
the right
it.
place.
I'm sure it
I'll
was.
give her that. Her heart's in the right place,
Well, like I
yes.
said, I never get political. Everybody that knows me just knows I work the world. But I think the woman should have ran for mayor. She's a city girl. She understands that. She knows nothing about me. She knows nothing about my life here. We applaud you for taking the time
Yes.
to
Thank
come.
you.
Not
Oh
only
my God.
here, but
It's
farther.
volumes.
I mean, Larry, that's, you know, that's not done. Like you're saying.
That's correct.
You are
It
out
isn't.
there. And unfortunately,
And that has to be recognized.
A third party candidate, this poor man doesn't get all the big King Andrew stuff and the Cynthia's, People Magazine crap and all this. But this is a guy that's really looking out for you, wanting to know what you have to say.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true. Believe me, I'll guarantee you, 2 years ago you asked him about farming and the people up in Schenectady and further north, he wouldn't be able to tell you a thing about it.
Well, a little bit though. I did run around and say it before. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, but
I did.
I mean,
No, there's no doubt. I've learned so much more. But actually, I've been up here before because I was supporting other candidates.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I was supporting Gary Johnson. I was supporting Alex Merced. I was supporting my current running mate Andrew Hollister when he was running in Rochester. So I have run around New York State a couple times, but it wasn't for me.
Right.
I was supporting others. I was raising money for them. I was in a support role at that point, right? And the point that I bring up there is very important. For someone to be a good leader, you have to know how to be a good supporter also. And the other two people who are running, all they know is politics. All they know is being the guy on top. All they know is the corrupt system. That's all they know. So there's no way they could actually say, just to criminalize. That's foreign to them. Everything is legislation. Everything is rules. Everything is how do I keep my constituents happy. Everything is how do I keep the people who I owe favors to, how do I pay them back.
Then let me
that
ask
is
you
their
point
normal
blank,
way of
how
doing
do we
things.
Get government back to the people? How do we get the people to have a voice again? We
Yes.
don't have one right now. I don't
That
care
is
what
correct.
anybody says.
Yes.
Right, we don't.
You can elect whoever you want, they
70%,
say what they want.
70% of New Yorkers don't vote.
Right.
And why do you not vote? Because you don't think it matters.
No.
And right now, you're correct. I've been through a bunch of fairs throughout the state, and most of the counties, people don't know, most of the counties in New York State are red counties, not blue counties, right? What turns New York blue is the cities.
Right,
But most of the counties are actually red counties. So I go to red counties to the fair, and I look at the Republican booth, it's empty.
I saw the picture.
I have many of them.
Wow.
It's empty. It's empty. Why? Why bother? You're going to vote for me anyway. But to be fair, that's not a Republican problem. Democrats are the same way in blue areas, right? If you're in a blue area, they don't care.
You know you're going to vote.
You're going to vote for them anyway. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So no one seems to care, so you have a very low turnout. And that's the point. The two major parties love that. Low voter
Right.
turnout means they keep exactly the same power structure they've had for decades, and they keep it, and life is good.
Well, that's
so
why I
you want
asked.
to change it?
Yeah.
Here's what you do. You actually have someone to give people hope. Who taught us this? Bernie and Trump. Right? If you're from the right, Trump gave you hope. If you're on the left, Bernie gave you hope. The Democratic Party system wasn't so broken internally, Bernie would have been their nominee.
Right.
Because
Agreed.
he gave
They
them
didn't
hope.
have an agenda.
Agreed.
That's correct, yes.
They didn't have an agenda.
They would have both been the two hope candidates. Hope is what gets people who don't vote
Yeah.
to vote. I am giving people hope by
Yes,
showing
you are.
up.
Oh, my
by
God, you
showing
are.
up and saying, I
Yes.
care, I'm here.
Yes.
I am here, talk to me, what do you need?
Right.
But one of my number one things I work on all the time is the idea that we want to get government back to the local counties.
Right.
What I love about New York so much is a place like here, I could drive 3 hours and I could be in amazing mountains, I could be in amazing farmland,
That's right.
I could be in the biggest city in the country,
That's right.
amazing rivers,
Yeah.
any place I want to be, I can be in the state. That means we have a diverse state. I have to respect the diversity by understanding that each county is different.
Yes, it is.
So why aren't I allowing each county to be different? Right now in New York State, you have it to where Albany says, I want an election, I want to impose my will upon all of you. That's how it is now. Should not be that way.
What
No.
are you going to do to stop people from leaving?
That is a 7-hour question.
Yeah.
I know that.
That's a 7-hour question.
And I get it, but
Let
that's
me
what's happening,
go.
though.
I'll keep going right to this point. Your points are very valid. We lose over 100,000 New Yorkers every single year, about 1 million since His Majesty has started his reign. What I think we want to do without question is begin to make things a lot simpler. I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. We have a thing called unfunded mandates here in counties. If you don't know this, your county has about 80 to 90% of what it has to spend is dictated by either Albany or Washington, D.C. So now you walk into your county and say, let's fix some potholes, let's make better schools, let's do something great. And they go, no money. We have to buy these things that His Majesty has deemed are valuable, and He's given us no way of buying them. Now what are we going to do? Oh, we're screwed. Now what should we do? Raise taxes. Find some more money. Use law enforcement as a profit center. And the drug wars are very
What
good
a
at making that happen
scam.
too. We break those ideas. I was with a guy last night who's an actual councilman, and he said to me, Larry, what do you want? We don't have any money. I said, imagine if you had no unfunded mandates. He goes, what do you mean? No unfunded mandates. You could start your
Yep.
budget from zero. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He said,
How many had
he
you got?
had no idea what I was talking about. He had never seen that in his life.
Wow.
You change that, it actually allows counties to be counties, regions to be regions. We have to accept that Southern Tier is not North Country. Central New York is not Long Island. Rochester is not New York City. They're different. I have a secret you may not know. New York State, it's not just New York City.
Right.
It's true. I don't know if you knew that.
I moved down south.
Everybody
New York.
New
You know,
York.
they think
Yeah,
it's
you're
cool.
from the city.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Once we do that, we will allow people to allow them to be themselves. That's the core of everything.
Community
Yes,
strong.
it is.
We
Yes.
agree. That's why we do
Yes,
what we do.
that is
Absolutely.
exactly why we
100%
do what we do.
100% yes.
And another thing I find weird is the school system we have here in New York. Now,
Oh my God, I could spend an hour on
everything
that.
is
Yes.
supposed to be standardized, and we teach a standardized system across New York. Why do we need a superintendent making $400,000 in every school district across
We don't.
the state?
We don't.
Or we could just go, this county has a
We
superintendent.
don't
this
even
county-
we don't
whatever.
even need standardized testing.
Right.
That in itself is a disaster. Let me be clear.
It's not education.
The education system is complete disaster, must be completely rewritten from scratch. It is it's an embarrassment. We spend $22,000 per student in this state and get mediocre results. We spend more money than California per student. We should be ashamed of this.
Yes.
It's so
Yes.
bad.
That's right.
So bad. Teachers ask me all the time, Larry, how in the world are you going to help us as teachers? And I say the same thing. I'm going to get rid of a bunch of your administrators. And they love that. We actually have right now school districts that have more administrators than teachers.
I don't
Horrible.
understand.
Step one, no standardized testing until high school. None. We have a system right now that we're testing kids who are 10, 11, 12 years old. And what's happening? If you don't test well, you're now labeled as the dumb kid.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Special
embarrassing.
ed, yes.
Because you don't test well, and those tests have absolutely zero value in indicating what
comes your
success will
IEP.
be.
Well,
Yep.
you don't have to write
Nothing.
cursive.
Yeah.
You don't have to know history. You don't.
You got to
I
pass the
can't
test.
even believe it. I just.
It's bad. It's got to
So
be
they're all
revamped
going to run in
completely.
right
It's
in
got
block
to be revamped
letters.
from top to bottom. How we fund is terrible. We have about $60 billion in a budget for our education every year. About $4 billion comes out of the federal government. That's got to go away. We need no federal money.
Right.
And that people go, oh, no federal money, the world's going to end. No, it's not, because that means administrators go away also. Standardized testing goes away. Amazingly good for our people. Let teachers teach.
Yes.
I know that's trite. I know it is. I try to not be trite, but it is. I don't care. It's right.
Yes, it
I
is.
rhymed too.
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay. Yes. So with that in mind, let's make sure
We will have an album produced by.
we will. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I'm calling Dr. Dre to produce it. We'll be set. Absolutely. Yes. So no, we need to let teachers teach, not to the test,
Yes.
but to the individuals,
Yes.
to the actual kids, which means Common Core goes away. So what? I don't care if Common Core goes away. Let teachers use it if they want to use it or not. Let them choose, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to go even further. I think we shouldn't even have K through 12. It should be K through 10.
Okay.
The idea of K through 12 is an anachronism. It should not exist. It's silly. That was back in the day when we had factories. It should be K through 10. Once you're 10th grade, you're done. Most people, and you know this, you go to most high schools, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade.
College courses.
It's not. That's nothing.
It's
not even that.
really
Course
nothing.
programs.
Yes, it's nothing. They're wasting their time. Why are we doing that? They should be in prep school. They should be in trade school. They should be working.
Well,
they should be
along
doing
with
other
that,
things.
How about the SUNY free education that they have right now,
SUNY,
or SUNY free education?
It's fine
yeah.
too.
Right, because I think that's a good.
If they want to use
transition
that,
step.
if they want to use that in that time frame, it's fine. But I mean, do I like the Excelsior program? No. The Excelsior program itself is a really bad idea.
Okay.
The reason is we've been told a lie, and that is a lie is the way that kids become successful is put them through college. That's absolutely not true. That's been a lie for decades, and for some reason we're still telling people that lie. That isn't true. So we decided, well, if college is what magically makes you awesome, let's give you free college. What has it done? It's actually made kids go to college who shouldn't go to college. Kids are going to college because it's free. That's the wrong reason to go to college.
That's right.
Go to college because you think college is your right answer for success for you. But if you go to college because it's free, you're just wasting your time. Ask anyone who's in college this year. They will tell you that. My God, the kids here don't care. They care. I'm not making this up. Ask them. They will tell you that. They don't care. It's free. They're doing it because
it's free.
2 more years to hang out now.
Yep.
That's what it is. Bad
Exactly.
idea.
Yep.
And now they're also picking SUNY schools, not because they're the right school for the kid, but because they're free. That's the wrong reason to pick a college. pick the college that's going to be right for
sure.
you, for your future, not because it's free.
Correct.
It is terrible.
Yep.
And now, what are we going to think about when you're trying to hire somebody and they have a SUNY college degree? Oh, a free degree, whatevs. You have just weakened
Minimized,
the value
yeah,
of a
yeah,
SUNY degree.
Yeah.
It is now valueless. You've just made it worthless.
Yep.
And how about the people who actually worked hard to get the degree? Their degree's now worthless.
And they worked hard to
And
get
they
it.
worked hard to get it, and
Yes.
they paid for it.
Right.
It's a disaster. But at its core, it's bad because if you do 4 years, I don't know if you know this, you have to stay for 4 more years in the state.
Yes.
If
yes.
you don't,
yeah.
it becomes a loan.
Right.
So he's literally bribing you to stay in the
here.
state instead of making the state a better place to live and to work.
Right.
That's the hard part. You
Right.
don't do that.
Right.
You do the easy part, the bribe.
Ah.
Because then it isn't free
Bravo.
because he's getting your tax money back for you working here for
Yeah,
4 years
yeah.
and then having to pay it anyway.
No, you're not going to work because there's no job for you.
Yeah, well, that's right.
So here's what else is going to happen. You're going to find a job outside the state. You're going to find a job in Cleveland or something like that. What are you going to do? You're going to lie. You're going to tell your mom, say that I'm
Living in
working
your
there,
basement.
Yep.
and you're going to go to Cleveland,
Yep.
and then what's going to happen now? Is it going to be the college cops that knock on doors? Does Janie still live here or not? Is that going to happen? Where's Janie's papers? Is that going to be the next thing that happens? More criminals. Are you a felon now?
Right,
You've
right.
lied to
Just
government?
more red tape, paperwork, and
Yep.
everything else.
That's
that we don't
another,
need.
yes.
Which is
bad,
just another
bad,
system
bad.
set up for failure.
That is correct.
Now,
Yes.
Helen and I have heard your opinion on, and we have our own opinion on it. We want to run this by you and think maybe if this will help, just bring a little different view to what we spoke about, and we're talking about the safe injection sites.
Yes.
Okay. Now, safe injection sites, for those that really aren't aware, are places where people that shoot heroin can go in the safety of a tent and inject their body with poison without being arrested, so that they
Not just
don't
heroin, though.
die.
Yeah, they can-
And if something does go wrong, we can hit them with Narcan and bring them back to life. Now, I get it, I understand it, maybe this is, but to extend upon that program, and truly the only fair and way I think it will work is you need the tent next door for the healing. Like we just saved your life with Narcan. Now go visit next door, and this is where you can get your help. I think there has to be some kind of parent.
I think that
or
that's better than
compromise.
giving them a clean needle and sending them on their way.
No, to be forward. The idea of a safe space to help people, right? I'm totally okay with the concept. Do I want to make it happen throughout the state? I don't.
Right.
What I want to do is I want to let it happen at the county level if they deem it so. I'm not against counties trying this. I'm not. If the county's been tried, they can. I met with the mayor of Ithaca. He is all about trying in Ithaca.
He is.
Guess what? If he wants to try in Ithaca, he should be able to. Hopefully it'll work well. I hope it does. If it doesn't work well, we can learn from it. If it does work well, we can copy it. This is exactly what I'm
Well,
talking
tell
about.
me what
Let me
you-
finish.
Go ahead.
This is exactly what I mean by having counties be counties and cities be cities. What I want to happen in my perfect world, and I don't know if it can happen, but here's what I want to happen. I'm hoping guys that can will make this happen. Is there's a site where people can go. Like I know, my mother was an addict. I know this, right? What happens when you have an addict in your life is you can't find them. You don't know where they are.
Right.
If you have a safe site, and when mom is sick, or when dad died, or when something happens, that's one thing. But not just that. I don't know when that addict is going to turn. Is it going to take the first I love you, or the 400th I love you? I don't know. But what I know is it's going to take one of those I love yous to turn that person. I also know they don't turn when they're jonesing for their drug. They turn once they've had their drug. That's when they might actually turn. So if there's a place where the person can actually get their drug, take their drug, and there are actually people there who can help them there. Not just Narcan. I don't want to save their lives like that.
And send them on their way.
I would rather test their drugs so I don't need Narcan. I'd rather have that testing sites there instead, and then have counselors and their loved ones there, so that when they get it, you can say, I love you, are you ready to clean your life up, and get them cleaned up. This is my perfect world. Can that happen? I don't know. But am I open to letting cities and counties do it? 100% yes. Let them try it. Let them. Some communities don't want it. They don't have to have it. I'm not going to force it on communities. But if communities are open and they want it, they should try it. If this works, let's do it.
And like again, we're for that. We just think the
Yes.
alternative should be an offer. And like you're saying, having loved ones or having
Yes.
loved ones there, that
Absolutely.
that is a turn towards the right.
I
Not
don't-
just-
I
not
don't
like
want
you're
a
saying, just
tent.
giving them a spot.
Well,
But
see, and
messed
that's-
up,
No, that's
you know.
useless. A spot for a Narcan site is a horrible idea.
Hey, agreed.
That is a horrible idea. I do not want a Narcan site. That's a terrible idea.
Well,
The right idea is a place where people who actually, once they're done, have a chance at getting help, a place where loved ones can find the people who are in trouble. That is a wonderful idea.
Right. Well, most people, continue to get high. I mean, I really do believe that most people who are addicts do want off. They just don't want to be sick.
Right.
And what we know to be true is cannabis cures withdrawal.
Well, yeah, it
We've-
takes it away.
yes.
You don't feel the withdrawal
Yes.
symptoms if you're treating
So
it
what
correctly.
we are proposing is each safe injection site should have another site where someone now you
No. That's all one site. And again, I'll go back to my same thing. Cannabis,
Right.
Cannabis like onions.
Okay.
Right.
Could you have onions there?
Right.
Yes, you could. Therefore, you could also have cannabis
you.
there. 100%. Why wouldn't you? I'm totally fine with that being an option. To be forward, I don't think Oasis is a good job at all. For those of you who don't know, Oasis is the government organization that decides what matters and how you can treat your addictions. That's an embarrassment. People break their addictions many different ways. Whatever they're using is fine. Cannabis is a wonderful alternative, and if people want to use cannabis, they should be able to if they think it will work for them. It should be available, of course
Correct.
it should be.
It should be.
Not required,
Yeah.
not okayed by the government. It's there if you want to use it, go ahead.
I want you to ask me this song because I knew you were really interested.
You're gonna ask me a bad question?
What?
man. Beat me up.
Oh, his stance. Which one?
On the juryman.
Oh, on gerrymandering. Well, because we had somebody that asked us the question about gerrymandering.
That's about
If it has affected you at all, has anybody tried squeezing you out?
Yes, it's gerrymandering. Well, gerrymandering is a terrible thing. To be full with you, I know it's totally off topic, but I'm happy to bring it up.
Yes.
Gerrymandering is a horrible thing. All gerrymandering does is ensure that our congressmen and senators never get, removed. It makes it safer and safer for the two-party system. It's a terrible idea. It's unethical. It should go away immediately. Now, it does, by the way, it does sometimes actually help third parties. And I still think it's bad. Because what often happens is when districts are so gerrymandered, many times, people run unopposed, right? Because if the district is gerrymandered so bad that, say, it's a red district, the Democrats don't bother running. They
Right.
have maybe 10%. They don't even bother doing it. They give up. They don't bother doing it. So then no one runs. So when a third party runs, it becomes a two-person race. So it does sometimes help third parties. We found in Florida, the Libertarian Party has grown tremendously by using that tactic. They're so gerrymandered, the Libertarian Party has actively gone into places where there's no one else running, and we've been able to beat the other person because we're the only one campaigning. And we catch them off guard. They don't have any. They don't actually earmark any money towards these races. The parties don't because they're unopposed. They don't bother earmarking any money. So it does actually help third parties sometimes. With that in mind, still bad.
Still bad.
Still bad. It's a bad system. Should not exist.
Yes,
Bad
agreed.
idea.
Listen, I just want to say to everybody that views us, and not just my following, but listen, this guy really could make a difference and make a
Yes.
change for us. And I get asked all the time by people, what can I do? Well, the first thing you can do is register if you're not.
Yes.
Please.
register to vote. Yes.
It's so
Oh my
important.
God. Even if you don't vote for me, please vote for me. But even if you don't vote for me, it's okay. I hope you vote for me. But no matter what, get involved. 70% of New Yorkers don't vote, but it's even worse than that. In some local areas, people don't bother showing up to be part of the local leadership. It comes to a point where in some small areas, only 3 of us show up. We show up, I guess you're the chair, you're the vice chair, I'm a treasurer. Because no one else shows up.
Hear it?
Yes,
Yeah.
because no one cares to show up. So yes, please register and please show up. Vote for me. But if you don't vote for me, it's okay. Please still register. Please still show up.
Right.
Absolutely.
And what Larry was saying too is, and his idea, if everybody's been listening, is to communitize things.
Yes.
Yes.
So that becomes even more important to you now. That becomes even exponentially more important to you.
I actually
If
force
you're
it on
going
you in a
to
way by
hire
default.
People that may be
Yes.
in the community running this
That's
thing,
correct.
You better know it might not just be Joe and his buddies that have been running the town for 50 years because they just like the way things go.
Yep.
You need people that care about what's
Yes.
going on in your community.
And I want state government to, instead of being the all-knowing, all-powerful dictator, to instead be like a firefighter, right? I want you to call me when you have a problem. Everyone loves firefighters, right? We all love firefighters, right? Why? Because you have a problem, you call them, they come help. I want to be that guy. I want to be the guy who doesn't impose his will or doesn't have the local cronies as the people who enforce the king's will, but instead I want to be the guy who defends the rights of each individual against those local bullies that pop up all the time. And they do. They pop up all the time. Now they're part of the system. I will stop that. They won't be part of the system. When they try to bully you, you call me and I stop them. Here's what I know from the private sector. This is a formula. Freedom plus transparency plus accountability equals innovation. Google knows that, Amazon knows that, all the great companies that are doing good stuff, they all know that.
Right.
We don't have that in our government.
Right.
We need to.
Right.
Localized government. However, it is transparent, there is
Yes.
accountability, right, without question, but they have their own freedom. So we can see what works, what doesn't work, where the money went, how it went, where and why, and now we're good. You will find regions become better within regions. Southern tier will be different than North Country. That's fine, as it should be. I don't have a problem with that at all. You will find different rules, regulations, and issues that will make each unit, each region better, stronger, and that will force by default people to show up. And I want that to.
again, right, are people that are in government in New York going to be expected to work? Are they going to be expected to show up and vote? Are they going to be expected to participate rather than just
To be forward, they won't. This goes back again. I'm a business guy, right? People tease me all the time. They go, Larry, why should we vote for you? You don't have any government experience. That's why you should vote for me.
That's right.
That is
That's
the reason.
right. That is
the reason. Right there. That's the reason.
That's right.
Because I don't come here with cronies waiting to be rewarded.
Right.
I don't come here with a career that has to be protected.
Right.
I come here with the idea of repairing and changing things. Right? I know people say all the time, well, Larry, libertarians, they don't run anything. Yeah, we do. We run every successful business right now that's happening because we know how things are working and what actually works. We can now put that into government. We can do that. If we do that right, you will see a change. You will see things get repaired. Now, why do I say that? All right, in business, the same thing happens. You have early adopters, right? Someone has a new idea. Here's the new iPhone, whatever the new thing is. Some people jump on it, most don't.
Right.
But people go, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Before you know it, boom, they all do it. So when we add these ideas to local government, many counties won't change at all. They will fall back into their exact same ways. They will do nothing differently out of fear. But there'll be a couple of counties that are so broken that they'll say, no, we'll try it. We will. What do you got, Governor Sharpe? Yep, we're on. Let's do this. And a couple will jump. There are 62 counties. At least 6 will do something different. When those 6 do something different, the rest will begin to see it and they'll begin to change.
Right.
This is a cultural change I
That's
want.
right.
I don't want a change by iron fist.
Right.
I don't want to change as a king. That's what got us in this problem in the first place.
And this is what we need.
We do.
Yes.
My God, we
Yes.
need it.
But
Absolutely.
Being removed, being a New Yorker and lived here 90% of my life, but then traveling through this country the last 6 years or so, and really beating the pavement with lobbyists and beating the pavement with politicians, and speaking to doctors and truly engulfing myself within this movement. It's eye-opening that the West Coast's culture and thought of it, like someone walking down the street smoking cannabis is just like a guy
Smoking a cigarette.
or drinking a beer. Yes, it'll offend a few people, those that don't drink, those that don't smoke. But other than that, he's not bothering nobody, he ain't hurting nobody, and he's going about his business.
I'm offended. I think summary execution is the right answer. I'm offended. I think, yes. Prison is a good answer because I'm offended. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yes.
It's just silly, but
Yes.
It is silly.
Yes.
We all listen. And in New York, when they say the melting pot, let's be realistic. There is everything, everybody,
Yes.
every human, and that lives here.
Yep.
You know, and
Look,
Larry's no different than me. I'm no different than him. Is no different than anybody that is here with us today. We're all just human beings.
people have asked me more than once. They said, Larry, how does the libertarian viewpoint, how does the libertarian views, how are they received throughout New York?
Right.
And here's the thing I bring up. Being a libertarian, what I say is you can be as liberal as you want, you can be as conservative as you want, just don't push and force your views on others. If you want to be unhappy, I have every right, if you walk down the street with smoking a joint, to go, that's bad.
Right.
I do. If I want to, freedom of speech, I don't
Right.
like it, I'm
Right.
offended.
Right.
I can tell you, I'm offended by that plant.
But I have every right to keep walking by you and smoking.
That's correct. Yes. That is exactly correct. Yes.
I mean, that's the truth.
Yes.
Well,
I
see,
had
and
right
the
to say
person
it,
that's
and you let me
smoking
go.
the joint
Yes.
will probably just walk away, where the person drinking the beer might get a little confrontational.
Yes. Exactly right.
We'll
Yes.
be like, that's cool. I'll just. keep
And
it
that's
to
my
myself.
point. My point is, I don't want to stop free speech and say, well, you shouldn't say that. Say what you want.
Right.
The issue is, I can say I don't like your I don't like your joint. I don't like your plant. Your plant's an evil plant. I can decide that if I want to, I can. I can't stop you from doing it. If I want to try to convince you to stop it, I can if I want to. It's not going to work, but I can try if I want to. But that's the line is force. That's the line. What's the line, Larry? Force is the line. I can tell you I don't like your actions or your activity or your whatever you do if I want to. I just can't physically stop you from doing it. As long as you understand that's the line, we're good. But not just that. What's going to happen naturally is certain people are going to be in certain areas anyway where it becomes more natural to do anyway.
Right.
It's just what we do. It's freedom of association. We're going to have areas that are going to be more conservative and areas that are more liberal. That's going to happen anyway. And I'm okay with that. The difference is if you're conservative going to a liberal area or more liberal going to a conservative area, it should just be, oh, they're different. And that's all.
What
Nothing
I would
else.
What
Right.
I
That's
would
all.
say to people is just vote for the right person. I don't care if
Yes.
they're Republican, Democrat,
Yes.
Libertarian.
That shouldn't matter. It should be their beliefs, what they represent, and
Who's going to represent you best?
Yes.
I mean, this is, listen.
let's look at the integrity of a person. First and foremost, let's do that.
Tough to find that one. Tough. That's,
Well,
you're asking a lot on that one.
But you have
Tough on
it.
that one.
And I'm
Yes,
going to
I
say
did.
that
Yes.
because you know what?
Yes.
Now you have
No.
Channel 4 News following you.
Right.
That's
You
true.
didn't have to come here.
That's
You
true.
could have blew us off.
That's
We're
true.
just little can we talk. Who are we? But you didn't do that.
didn't.
And that speaks volumes
Now,
to
mind
me.
you, this is the second time he's been back.
Yes.
He knows he has an open invitation.
Yes.
Between now and the election, whenever he
That's
wants
right.
to come back. If anybody from his camp calls me, and I'll just say, yeah, okay, what time, what day?
That's right.
There we go.
I mean,
appreciate
it's just that
Thank
simple.
you.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Larry, I want to give you a few minutes to just, get what you want people to know that might not know you. I mean, this is the thing.
We
We're
know
trying
you've
to
been
get
in
people
every
to
corner
know.
of New York so far.
I have.
'Cause you have.
Well, look, if you're interested in who I am, it's great. You can go to LarrySharpe.com, and it's Larry Sharpe with an E, and the E stands for electable. Yes, the E stands for electable. That's what it's all about. Or you can go to my Facebook page, Larry Sharpe for New York, and I'm an open book. I really am. I'm open book.
And I love that.
I do go lives all the time. I take questions. You've never seen me have notes when I speak.
Nope.
I just talk. Right? I've been doing this for 10 months. And if you think that I don't have integrity, and you might think that I'm a politician that has no integrity.
Oh, you
that's
have
okay,
integrity.
great. Look back for the past 10 months on what I've been saying for 10 months straight. I've been saying the same
That's right.
thing
He hasn't
for 10
tripped up. I'm
months
waiting, man, but he
straight.
hasn't.
And the reason why I don't trip up is I'm not saying anything I don't believe.
That's right. He's
So
talking
I don't
with
have
honesty.
to remember anything. I just talk.
Pure
I
heart.
say the same things because I feel the same way. Again, who am I? I'm a kid who was born in Manhattan. I'm adopted. My parents brought me to the South Bronx to raise me as a youngster. I lived in the South Bronx. I was around 11 or so. My father was a cop and a corrections officer. My mom was a waitress and worked at a bank. Then we moved out to Long Island, and my father passed away when I was 12. That was devastating for me. Of course, as it would for anyone who loses their father. Devastating for my mom also, because her family was in Europe. She was a European immigrant. My father met her in the army in Germany, when he was in the army in Germany. So my home life was not great as a teenager. So when I was 17, I ran off so that I could go join a service. I was going to join the army like my father. So I rush off to go join the army, but I don't join the army. Because I go to the Army recruiter, and he's like, come on in, son, you're going to be a general in 3 weeks. We're going to give you everything, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm like, oh my God, it's awesome, it's great. Travel the world, meet everybody. And I got like, I got my arms filled with like book covers that say, go Army, and all that kind of stuff, right? So when I head off, and as I walk out, the Marine Corps recruiter is there. And he goes, hey, son, you just go talk to the Army guy? I said, yeah. He goes, you got a second? I said, yeah. So I go on inside, sits me down. He says, so, you talk to the Army guy, huh? I said, yeah. He said, he promised you everything? I said, yeah, I'm going to be a general in 3 weeks. I'm going to be traveling the world. I'm gonna get everything's free college. It's amazing. He said, we call that the solar plan. Everything under the sun. He said, you know what I'm going to promise you? I said, what? He said, 4 hard years. You ready?
Nah.
I said, yeah, and I signed up.
There you go.
Wow.
That's how I joined the Marine Corps.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, I did that, as I look back now, I didn't know then. I was searching for positive male role models. And the Marine Corps gave it to me, and I did that. I got in the Marine Corps 7 years later. I did 7 years in the Marine Corps, and my mom was in bad shape. As I said, she was initially addicted to legal drugs, and eventually illegal drugs. She was a convicted felon. I got out of prison. I tried to get her set up with a job and with used my savings to get her a car and all kind of good stuff and set her up. The problem was she had trouble getting a job. She was a felon, right? So she's lying on her form, not telling people. And when she finally got a job, she was a hostage. Because she couldn't lose that job. So the boss said she's doing. Doesn't matter. She can't lose that job. There's not one out there for her, so she'll do whatever he says. So I said, I don't want my mom being a hostage. So we started a trucking business, so that we could be entrepreneurs and that she wouldn't be a hostage anymore, because she's the boss now. So we started a business, her, me, and my step-pop at the time, and they started the business, and I worked with them for about 2 years. Then they went off and did their own, and I did my own thing. They ran their business, her last job, until she retired. Then I had many jobs myself. I started my own business. That business did not do well, so I sold it off. Then I started a second business, which I have now, and I had this job for now 14 years, this business now for 14 years. I'm a trainer, consultant, educator. I've actually been an executive part-time, short-time I should say, in 2 public companies. I've taught, I have larger clients like Models and Government of Singapore, Estee Lauder, and smaller ones like small law firms and other small business owners. And I've taught at many colleges, to include a guest instructor at the graduate level of both Yale and Columbia. That's what I do for a living generally. I don't do that now. Now I just lose money. I'm doing this. I don't have a salary. I'm in front of you.
And he's doing this for us, for all of us.
Listen, people, the only another way we're going to end up taking a big bite out of all this going on is to visit Larry's page. Please donate what you can. This man works hard. He travels hard.
This is true.
This is probably his 4th gig today. This isn't all glamour and glitz and wonderful as everybody thinks it is.
It isn't. I thought this was kind of glamour. What happened? You guys are amazing.
I'm still trying to work on the voice for TV, the voice for radio.
No.
But
you're the prettiest man at the table. That's you. That's you.
Larry, we want to thank you again for coming.
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Anytime like we said, you're welcome. People, again, Can We Talk TV, we try to bring you reality, truth, and something that you can really sink your teeth into. This isn't a show where you're going to turn it on and you're going to find false information, misinformation, or misguided thoughts or process. We took time again with Larry because it's important. This state is in dire straits.
Yes.
It's in that spiral of decay.
It is.
It's a spiral of decay.
Absolutely.
And the problem is, everyone right now who's running besides me is saying, let's find more ways to fund stuff. That's all they're saying. Their answers for everything is, we have to find more ways to fund stuff. Whenever you hear that, realize we're going to tax you more and give you better service whatsoever. We are just going to punish you. That's what they actually mean. I'm the guy saying we can raise money through ways other than taxation. I'm saying we can actually destroy the actual state income tax in 4 years. I'm saying we can do things that will make a simplified tax code that will make businesses want to stay in this state. I'm saying we can make laws that will actually make small businesses immune from federal regulatory bodies, so they have an actual chance of success in this state. I'm saying we can stop bribing big business to come into this state with massive bribes, so that when they come here, they have a huge advantage, crush all the small businesses. When the bribes go away in 5 years, they leave, ghost town, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. That's been happening for decades here. We can end this stuff. No one else is saying it. I will end that cronyism. I will end the regional economic development corporations, which are an embarrassment to this state.
Yes.
They are literally petri dishes for corruption. Here's big Judas. Add some money, corruption grows.
Right.
That's how bad it is.
That's right.
Those all go away. The less money Albany gives out, the less corruption there will be.
That's right.
Very well
Excellent,
said.
Larry. Again, we want to thank you for
Yes.
my wife, Helen. Larry.
Good. Good seeing you as always, yes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Okay,
Thank you
guys,
so
that'll
much.
do it for Can We Talk tonight. We appreciate you guys joining us every week. Thanks again to NBC News for joining us and following Larry around, because this gentleman here really needs a punch, and we appreciate it. Okay, everybody, have a good night.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Wow.